qualifying for the FIA Formula One Belgian Grand Prix. In third place, Sergio Perez. In second place, Charles Leclerc. And fastest in Q3, once again here at Spa, Max Verstappen. Well, very well done, Max. You were extremely quick in all conditions. How hooked up were you and the RB20 today?
Yeah, it was a good day. Of course, yesterday we tried a few things with the car. I think we learned from that. And today we tried to put on the car what we thought was best. And I think, as you could see, we ran maybe also a little bit more downforce compared to some competitors. So naturally, of course, in the wet, probably it's a little bit more stable, and that can help, of course, around here. But overall, I think the laps were good in qualifying all the way from Q1 to Q3. I passed Q1 and Q2 only on one tire set, so I think that was important because that gave me, of course, a better opportunity for Q3. And yeah, everything was working well, but of course today is not as important because tomorrow is going to be dry, it's going to be warmer, and we need to be good on tires. And of course, starting 10 places back, it is going to be, of course, a little bit more tricky. I don't expect it, of course, to be like the last 2 years. Naturally, looking at, of course, the cars around us being quite quick. So yeah, we'll just try to move forward, try to fight Ferraris, Mercedes, and with a bit of luck, maybe the McLarens, but it all depends on our pace ourselves.
Max, one question about Q3. You were 6/10 faster than anybody else after the first runs. Why did you go out again? Was it just to be sure?
I had another tire set, so I was like, let's try and go faster. I'm not sure what happened. I was very close to my lap time in places, like gaining, losing. Maybe it just rained a little bit more, and it just didn't give me the same grip. But I mean, both laps are almost identical. So when you have the tires, I mean, you can try and get a better lap out of it. Sorry.
You've said who you hope to be battling with in the race tomorrow. Just strategically, what is going to be your approach?
Survive lap one and just go from there. I mean, we also have a bit of a different tire strategy to the other cars, so we have to wait and see how that will evolve in the race. But yeah, we'll see what we can do. I mean, yeah, I'm not, of course, as confident as I was the last 2 years around here in coming back to the front. I still see it more as like a damage limitation race. That's how it is. But at least today was I think the best possible we could do in terms of the starting position for tomorrow.
Are you more confident in the car here than you were at the Hungaroring last weekend?
I think overall the balance is a bit better. Yeah. If it's going to be enough to be the quickest, I'm not sure. But yeah, hopefully we can just have it all a bit more under control.
All right, very well done today. Thank you. Charles, let's come to you now. Tomorrow's pole sitter, but let's talk about Q3. You pulled together a beautiful lap right at the end of the session. Just how good was it?
Oh, it was a good lap. As Max said, the rain picked up a little bit at the end of Q3, which maybe there was a bit more to find on the first part of Q3. But obviously, anyway, P1 was out of reach for us today. It's a lot better than what we expected coming into the weekend, and especially after yesterday. That was a very difficult day for the team once again. Yeah, the tricky conditions helped us today.
What about the asphalt? So much of it is new this year. How was that performing in the wet weather?
I mean, the old asphalt seems to be drying up pretty quickly, whereas the new asphalt a little bit slower. So that was a little bit tricky. But all in all, it was fine. I think there was quite a good grip on the new asphalt, which made it quite fun to drive in wet conditions.
So, Charles, let's throw it forward. Pole position. Are you more confident coming into this race than you were same point last year?
I cannot remember about last year, too long ago, and so many things have happened since then. Then for sure, if we are looking for tomorrow, it's going to be a tricky race for us. It will be dry conditions, and on dry conditions recently we've been struggling a little bit more. However, the McLaren is a bit further away than what we wanted. There's Checo right behind. That will be the main target, and then we'll see how it goes after the first stint. But it's a good starting position. It's also a track where you can overtake quite easily, so we'll need the pace, and that will only have the answer tomorrow.
Right. Very well done. Thank you. And Checo, well done to you as well. That was a great qualifying session for you. Are you much happier with the car this weekend?
Not initially. We tried a lot of things. We kept throwing things at it, and it's never ideal when you don't have progression. And once again, today we throw at it a lot of things. I think we found a nicer window, a little bit similar in the direction of Hungary, where we were a lot happier with the car. So I think, although I mean it's on the inter conditions, but the balance in the medium high speed was feeling positive in the right direction. So let's see tomorrow. I think tomorrow is going to be a very different day, and let's see how much we are able to improve.
Given that you only just crept through Q2, were you surprised by your pace in Q3?
I think already I was quick in Q1, Q2. The problem was our run program. We finished a lap before everyone. I think I was P4 or something. But then, when you give a lap away, everything was really close. So we were very lucky to be able to make it. I think it was it was definitely a mistake on our run program to left us that vulnerable basically.
All right, and just your thoughts on the performance of the car in the dry?
I think yesterday McLaren looked very strong, but at the same time we are not that far away. So we've done some changes in the direction of tomorrow. So we'll see. I think after the first stint we will have a good idea.
All right, very well done to you. Thank you. Let's open this to the floor. As ever, name and publication, please. First one.
Christian Mehnert, motorsportmagazin.com. Questions for you, Max. I think you went for the bigger rear wing as the one you had in FP1. Some people might think it's a strange choice given that you have the 10-place grid penalty, but is it the case that with the DRS effect so big nowadays that it doesn't make a huge difference in the race then?
I felt a bit more confident and comfortable on the FP1 wing. So I hope that is also going to be the case tomorrow. Tomorrow is a bit warmer as well, so naturally probably a bit more sliding. I just hope, that it's better for me. But when you, of course, look at the McLaren, for example, they were in a very skinny wing. Seems to work for them, but it didn't really work for me yesterday. So, bit of a different strategy also there. And I guess we'll find out tomorrow how it will work out. I mean, I have to pass cars. The DRS effect is quite big around here, but at the end of the day, I think it's more important just to be good on tires around here. Because if you're good on tires, you can pass people.
Thank you, Max. Next one.
Scott Mitchell from the race. A question to Checo. Checo, after the last couple of months, I think this is your best qualifying result since China. How kind of satisfying is that for you, given the criticism that you've had, the fact that Red Bull has said that they wanted to have some conversations over the summer break? It's perfectly timed, and I think, as Tom alluded to, it could have been so different had that run plan cost you in Q2.
From my point of view, it doesn't change anything. I've always said it's not where we are now, it's how you ride the waves and where we finish in Abu Dhabi. I mean, there are a lot of drivers that haven't been able to maximize their performance lately, but obviously the scrutiny on my side has been quite a bit higher. Doesn't change anything from my point of view. I think tomorrow is a new day, a new opportunity. It would have been the same if I was knocked out in Q2. Tomorrow is a new opportunity to do better, and it's the way I see it. It's tomorrow what really counts, and if I don't have a good race tomorrow, I will try to have a good one in Sanford. But it's how it is. This is a sport, and sometimes it goes your way. Sometimes you have to fight, and nothing goes in your direction. But I think it's just the nature of the sport.
Thank you, Checo. Next one, Jake.
Jake Wilson, Autosport. Another question for Checo, please. Obviously, fantastic result today. Really good race in Hungary as well. Do you feel like confidence is starting to come back to you after, I guess, a very difficult period for you? Thank you.
More than confidence. I mean, it's not like I forgot how to drive, from 5-6 races ago. It's just that you see it with a lot of drivers. Sometimes you're not able and to maximize the full potential of your car, and for that reason you end up lacking that, let's say, confidence to extract the maximum out of the car you have. I think we've been taking good step forwards in the right direction since Hungary. I think Silverstone was already quite had a really good Friday. So I think the season, the car is going in the right direction for now, and hopefully tomorrow we are able to finish it off with a strong result. And still there is a long way to go in the season. So just head down. And I think, like I've said before, the team, myself, are focusing on what we gotta do at the end of the day. It's getting the most points we possibly can, and the rest couldn't care less, to be honest.
Thanks, Checo. All right, another one.
Carlo Pratella, Formula Passion. Question for Max and Sergio. How much do you think today's result is due to track, weather conditions, or a different setup strategy?
I think it's all down to the drivers.
Confidence.
No, like I mentioned before, we run a bit more downforce, so for sure that is good for today. One lap pace is of course important, but it's more important to be good on the tires tomorrow. I feel like most of the last qualifyings we have been quite close over one lap, even when I was still not entirely happy with the car or the balance. But then in the race, sometimes there have been bigger differences for me. So it's important that tomorrow, we are good on tires and competitive, of course, as well.
Same.
All right. Yep, another one.
Luke Smith from The Athletic. Max, I know you said it's still a damage limitation race for you, but compared to Thursday, when you seemed quite downbeat about your chances of winning, given when McLaren's starting as well tomorrow, do you feel a little bit more optimistic that you could still win tomorrow's race?
Looking at their pace yesterday in the long run, it's incredibly strong. They look very comfortable out there. Of course, they are starting a little bit further back, but I think they're so fast they will, quite quickly challenge for the front, for the lead. And it also depends a bit, of course, how I get through lap one and stuff. But I would already be happy if we can match that race pace. So starting a bit further back, also being on different tires. I don't know how that is going to work out. Most teams around us have 2 hard tires. We don't. I don't know if that's better or not, of course, for the moment, but we'll find out tomorrow. But it's definitely still damage limitation.
Thank you, Max. Yes, more questions.
Leonardo Pasquale, Formula 1 Analisi Tecnica. Question from Charles. Charles, how did you improve the balance of your car from Q1 to Q3? And how did you put more temperature? How did you work to put more temperature on the tires? Thank you.
Well, we didn't change the balance that much actually from Q1 to Q3. I think where we improved quite a bit was to put the tires in the right window. That was super important, and in those conditions, that's always where you struggle. So this we did some modifications, especially on the outlap and how much you push and where you push, and then I felt more at ease, and that helped me for Q3. So yeah, it was all about fine tuning the outlap and putting the tires in the right window.
Okay. Yep. There's another one.
Lawrence Edmondson, ESPN. Another question for Charles. How surprised are you by this result? Because obviously it's been a while since we've seen you in the top 3. Was it just a case of, like you say, getting the tyres in the right window in the wet, or is this something of a bigger step for Ferrari?
No, I'm very surprised. And actually, even when I finished the lap, I didn't feel like it was worth a second place. I mean, it was a good lap, a clean lap, and that's what you need in those conditions. And I believe that especially when you get to Q3 in the last lap, everybody knows that this is the lap, and that pushes people to maybe do more mistakes. On my side, it was a clean lap, but not a incredible lap. So yeah, I'm very happy to be P2, but I definitely did not expect that. I think as a team, today P5 will have been a good result, and today we are P2, and tomorrow we'll be starting on pole. So that's a good thing. But as I said, we don't have any magical solution for the race pace, and it will be a bit of a tricky day tomorrow.
Thank you. Yes, Scott.
Scott Mitchell from the races to Max and Checo. Do you think that when you look at the comparison of your car to McLaren, do you think that the McLaren is now kind of the best all-round car, but it's now about optimizing things, and actually they're so closely matched that conditions, track characteristics is the thing that will swing the battle between the two teams?
Well, I think if you look at the last 5-6 races, they for sure have been the best. I mean, quite clear. that's, I mean, that's fine. That's, you know, fair play to them. I think they've done a great job. From our side, yeah, we have a bit of course, work to do. A few things also to analyze over the break. From race 1, you know, all the way to here, you know, what we have done. And then, yeah, try to fight back from Zandvoort, see if we can actually improve the situation, try to turn it around, try to be more competitive. I think the battle is, in a way, still quite tight. So, you know, when you make small mistakes, it definitely can swing quite quickly. And yeah, we have to try to use that in our advantage as well, because it's so difficult at the moment. But we'll see. I mean, there's so many races left and so many things that can happen. You can have the best possible preparation into every single weekend, but even things can catch you by surprise, you know, so just have to remain focused, calm, and try to improve.
Yeah, I think they've been the best car, let's say, for the last 5 races or so in different type of circuits. They've been strong, certainly in the race pace, and I think the break comes at a good time for Red Bull, because we got a lot to analyze on our season, the directions we've been taking, and hopefully get the balance a little bit more together for the second half of the season. More than any other upgrade, I think it's getting the balance in the right window will be the main key and the main focus, to see what we've done, the upgrades we have brought, to see where exactly we are, because I feel like we've been a little bit lost lately.
All right, thanks both. Another one?
Carlo Pratella, Formula Passion. Charles, how was the situation with bouncing during the weekend?
Today it was fine, but obviously in wet conditions it's always a little bit less of an issue. Yesterday we struggled a bit more with it, but I don't expect this to be an issue tomorrow during the race. So this is a positive. So yeah, but if it was a dry quali, I will have expected to be a bit more of a struggle for us.
Thanks, Charles. Any more? Any more? No more? We'll leave it there. Thanks, gents.
And Perez is in the pits.